Hi, my name is Barbara. Welcome to Around the WNBA. Tonight we had a game, the Valkyries versus the Fever. Who did you think was going to win? I know we all hoped that the Fever would win, but who did you really think would win? Let's get into it. Before we get into the points made and all that, I just want to give you my take on the game.
That team plays hard. I've been really impressed with their effort and their connectivity. Timmy had a great quote and said that they're a bunch of six players who come in and do their job, and that's exactly what they've done. They do a great job of defending on the defensive end. They move the ball offensively, and with the new faces coming in, with the players out at EuroBasket, I think that we got to kind of lean on our principles a little bit more and playing personnel. They'll do the same things offensively, but it really just comes down to us just taking care of us, I think. And but yeah, they're doing a great job this year. I've loved watching them play.
If you remember, 2 days ago, I posted about the Valkyrie and the Fever matchup. I thought it was going to be a good contest. It was going to be competitive. It was going to be actually a good game in terms of two teams coming together that were going to actually give us a good game to watch. I knew that the Valkyries are a formidable team. I knew that they could practice good defense. I knew that they could shoot the ball from the perimeter and in the paint. I knew that when they're on the court, they mean business. So, what happened tonight? What I saw was the Indiana Fever coming out, ready to play the game. They're ready to go and do their thing. But I don't think they quite estimated how much of a problem the Valkyries would be. I know, like, if you're watching tape on a team, you can see a lot on tape, don't get me wrong. But when you're on the court and you're face to face with your competitors, then you really know what's going on because you're in it. And the Fever were in it. Now, they managed to have a good first quarter, okay? Although the Valkyries showed the Fever, showed us, showed their fans who they were right from the jump. Now, why do I say that? We have Carla Late, who is not afraid to attack the basket. She's not afraid to run all up in the paint. She's not afraid to put on speed and go. She just takes off. She's not afraid to find her teammates and to pass the ball. Carla Late is someone to watch in the WNBA on the Valkyries team. Okay. Then we have people like Bibi, who just came onto the team because of the folks who are doing the Eurobasket, who is shooting three pointers, who is in the paint also, and who's playing good defense. You have the Valkyrie team operating in ways that really, really, I mean, really complicated matters for the Fever. They really did. They threw the Fever way off. Absolutely. And the Fever could not answer them the way that they're used to because what? Caitlin wasn't hitting the threes. No. As a matter of fact, she couldn't get a basket in the first quarter. It wasn't until the second that she got 2 points. So the Valkyries disrupted the play. Whatever play the Fever had in mind, whatever they thought they were going to do, the Valkyries disrupted it. Period. Dropped the mic. They went in there to compete with the Indiana Fever. They went in there to do their best to throw them off center. Did they accomplish it? Yes, they did. Yes, they did. The Valkyries had a few problems, you know, had a few problems in the first half here and there, but not enough so that it didn't interfere with the Fever's plan. I don't know what the Fever had planned because guess why? I couldn't see it on the court, and I don't know if y'all could see it, but I couldn't see it. I'm just giving it to you like direct. Could the Fever have won this game? The only way they could have won the game is if they were practicing at the level of defense that the Valkyries were giving them. The only way. Another way, there's actually two. Another way would be that the Fever would be as aggressive as the Valkyries were aggressive. That's the only way they could have won against the Valkyries tonight. You know what? I need to just say this. My hope was that when I saw this game, I knew it was coming up. My hope was that I would see a battle, a serious battle between the Indiana Fever and the Golden State Valkyries. I didn't see a complete battle. I saw a one sided battle where the Valkyries were in it to win it and they had a plan of action. They were to suffocate Caitlin in terms of guarding her. They accomplished that. They were to, just throw her off where she usually goes to shoot. They accomplished that. They did. And then they were to hit the boards. They were to go up in the paint. They were to run the court. And they did. And I guess for me, I'm not sure why the Fever didn't see this because I saw it a while back. Enough so that I was like, this game is coming up. This is 2 days ago. I was like, this game is coming up, and this should be a doozy of a game between two teams that want to compete, two teams that can run the floor, two teams that can hit from perimeter and in the paint. This should be awesome to watch. Not so much. Not so much. Because what I saw was almost like the Fever after the first half, like they were deflated or something. They had low energy. They had no answer for the Valkyries' defense. Caitlin, the turnovers were atrocious. Indiana Fever had so many turnovers. And guess what? The Valkyries made use of at least 10 or 11 of them and scored points. You let me know. You tell me in the comments what you think about this, but that was my take on it. They had Boston, just covered her with the fence in the paint. Because early on in the first and second quarter, she was hitting that hoop. She was getting those buckets. And when they went back and had a conversation, the Valkyrie had a conversation with their coaches. They had a plan for Boston, and that plan worked. And I'm not mad at Indiana. I'm not mad at anyone. But what I want you to see here is what happens when someone's not prepared, when someone underestimates another team. when someone doesn't understand that other teams can play chess too. As a matter of fact, let me just say this: anybody, any team that is playing against Indiana Fever, if they're not making it difficult for Caitlin in terms of guarding her, in terms of not letting her get to her spots, in terms of making it difficult. If they're not doing that, then they're not doing their job. If they're not making it difficult for Boston to be in the paint and getting those rebounds and putting balls up or whatever, then they're not doing their job. If they're not making it difficult for the Indiana Fever by putting on a press and matching their speed, guess what? They're not going to win the game. So opponents of the Indiana Fever, just looking at their tape, you can see what needs to happen. And that's why, like I said, it cannot be business as usual for any team. If you're playing the same way you played in 2024, if you're playing the same way you play every game, teams are going to clock that. I mean, the good ones will, and they'll know how to contend with it. They'll know how to deal with it, and they will do it. A good team will do it. And that's what the Valkyries did. They had been watching Caitlyn play last year. I mean, last season. They had been watching, her play now and the team play now. They knew how good they are, but they also knew what could stop them. They also knew how to guard Caitlyn. They also knew that Caitlyn doesn't like to be, closely guarded that way. They knew all of these things. They knew as a team they had to communicate and work as a team in order for them to defeat the Indiana Fever. They knew that. So I don't know what the coaches are doing, but you got to change it up. You got to change it up so the team, your opponent, doesn't expect you to do certain things. And what they expect won't happen. The unexpected will take place. And then that will definitely make it difficult for your opponent. Does that make sense? But I do invite you just to watching these different teams where they've been different pieces, exchanged, and they're happier on those teams, and how they're flourishing, and the ones that you think are the underdogs that are not going to do something, they'll do something, and the ones that you think are this way, are they the champs or whatever, they're going to be losing. Look at the aces. Look at Minnesota Lynx. Look at the Liberty. I'm not saying that they're not a great team, because these are great teams. What I'm saying is that because of pieces that are not there, or players that are gone, or for whatever reasons, it has mixed up certain things. And if they're not working as a team, and they're not able to bring those who are new on the team into the fold, then they will fold. I'm saying that people on different teams are flourishing. And there's some people that are on teams that people thought would be star players on their team that are not showing up. And you know who all those people are. I mean, in general, basketball is such that on any given day, it could be another team that's going to be the winner. So imagine if you're on a team where you are happy and you're being heard, and you're a part of a team, a real team, and you feel like you are invited in and welcomed in, and you're going to play well. Think about how, if you're a coach and you're thinking about the other teams that you're going to be playing, and you've watched the footage, you watch, what's going on, and there's some good teams out there, good players on those teams. If you don't change it up, you know, and stop it from being business as usual, guess what? You're going to lose. especially in season 2025. Okay, let's go over some of the stats and go from there. First quarter, Indiana 21 and the Valkyries 12. Second quarter, Indiana 23, Golden State 26. So you can see there, the first quarter, Indiana was doing okay. Second quarter, Valkyries were trying to like make a stand there. Third quarter, Indiana 15, Valkyries 17. Pretty even, pretty much. In the fourth quarter, Indiana 18 and the Valkyries 33. So in the third quarter, I think they had already given up. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong about that. And in the fourth quarter, they were just dragging. And the score ended up being Indiana 77 and Golden State 88. Now, when we look at Golden State, the box scores, we have Thornton 16 points, 6 rebounds. And we have Hayes 14 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists. Bibby 12 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist. And Bibby had 2 of 6 three pointers. And Thornton had 5 of 8 3-pointers made. Burton 11 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists. 1 3-pointer out of 6. Amy here 10 points, 3 rebounds, and 3 assists. Am here, she was going off. Am here was going off, okay? She was attacking the basket. She was attacking the paint. She was in it to win it. And this is someone that they had actually waived at one point. But Am here, what she did was she kept herself in fit shape, and she was ready to go when she got the call. And she showed up and showed out, and she was pivotal to their win. Martin 9 points, 5 rebounds, and 1 assist. 1 3-pointer out of 4. Billings 8 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist. Late 8 points, 1 rebound, and 4 assists. And Late was actually playing with a sore back. At one point, you can see she held onto her back a little bit. So she was playing a little bit under the weather. So imagine if she was 100%. She would have went off at 100%. Indiana, we have Boston, who had 17 points, 12 rebounds, and 1 assist, and 1 3-pointer. Mitchell, 16 points, 1 rebound, 2 assists, and 1 out of 5 3-pointers. Howard, 13 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists. Clark, 11 points, 7 rebounds, 9 assists. And she attempted to take 7 3-pointers and missed them all. Cunningham, 9 points, 6 rebounds, 1 assist. She hit 3 out of 7 3-pointers. Colson, 5 points, 1 rebound, 2 assists, and one steal. 1 3-pointer out of 2. Hull, 3 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. 1 3-pointer out of 2. Dantes had 3 points and 1 3-pointer out of 3. They had 16 turnovers. 16. Golden State had 7. There you go. That should tell you an awful lot about the game tonight. So I really want to hear what your thoughts are on the game. How did you see the Indiana Fever in terms of how they played? Did they play the way that you thought they would play? Or were you surprised at how they did play? And what about the Golden State Valkyries? Were you surprised at how they played? Or did you expect that kind of play from them? Let me know in the comment section. If you have enjoyed this content, my content, and you like my perspective on things, subscribe. I invite you to subscribe. You're officially invited to subscribe. And also give me a thumbs up because that helps me a lot. I want to get to 1,000 subscribers, and that's totally up to you. Totally. So I just thank you in advance for your subscription to my channel. Also, tap the bell so that you'll get notice when there's new content posted. This will be a fun season in the WNBA because a lot of things are going to be turned around. A lot of things are happening right now that are just different. Some things weird, but some things that are just par for the course. And then when you shake things up in such a way with players going to different other teams where they're happy, where they're content, and where they're doing much better and flourishing, anything can happen. Thank you for spending your time with me. See you next time. My name is Barbara, around the WNBA. See you next time.